did it.
Not only is this game a faithful recreation of the original story, but it's also a bit of a reimagining. The game rearranges elements, actually fleshes out areas far more by expanding upon them, and even pays tribute to the original game, with collectibles called Glimpses of the Past, spots from the old game that represented story beats that have since been changed in the remake, which is honestly a great way to play on the nostalgia factor for old fans, expecting to breeze past the new game. Regardless, when compared to the PS2 classic, what else is improved here? First off, the combat. It's very similar to the original, but once again modernized for a full third-person perspective. Overall, it's serviceable when you need it, and restrictive enough to make you fear an enemy coming towards you. Now, I've read that some people don't like the fact that the new combat and enemy encounters are far more aggressive this time around, because in the original, enemies were easy to avoid. If they did spot you, they didn't make a beeline directly to James like they do in the remake. But you know what? No, that's not how I fly. I like to face my demons head on, so I'm all for these new enemies putting in the extra effort to try and eviscerate you. That is, of course, if you can see them coming in the first place. If you play the original games, you know that a huge notable aspect of them is the town's fog. Well, the fog effects in the remake are just as good as the original, if not even better thanks to the state-of-the-art game engine. And since we're still on the topic of low visibility, another great aspect of the original is the dark areas. And damn does this new game really emphasize the dark areas. The flashlight in this game is essential, even more so than Resident Evil 2. You're gonna get lost in the dark, and you're gonna have to find your way out. Now once again, if you're unfamiliar with the Silent Hill series, you may be thinking, that doesn't sound that exciting. Well, this is where the crowning aspect of the whole game comes into play. The soundscape. Nothing is scarier than staring at a dark screen and hearing an enemy crawling up behind and above you on the ceiling. The hypnotic auditory droning, the sound of enemies slithering on the ground, and the iconic music composed by Akira Yamaoka is the bread and butter holding this all together. The voice acting is also a welcome update here. Each line is said with drive and emotion, while also staying true to the original's uncanny valleyness. Lines are delivered far more naturally, but the dialogue can still border on the absurd. It's just so good. And especially since how dark this story can get, the performances really matter here.
Angela, it's okay.
No, don't touch me!
The original definitely is a far more somber and tighter experience. It's greater than the sum of its parts and then some. While this remake pays homage to the original every chance it gets, while rebuilding some things and making it far scarier and more digestible for a contemporary audience. In my restless dreams, I could have never imagined that Konami would be back. But here we are. We are back, baby.